Hello, 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 hello. Happy Friday, happy Friday. Hello, how's everybody? Can't wait just a minute. People pop on. Hopefully this part of the feature is gonna go away soon, right? Right? They're supposed to be changing it so that there can be like a room where people can wait or log in and be ready, and then as soon as there's Kelly, hi! Debron, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. And there's Jessica, all my ladies. Kendall, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Hello, everybody. I'm in my car. I'm in a parking lot. Yeah. Because I find when I do Facebook Lives and I have somewhere I have to be, best to be there before I start the live, because then, you know, with the live, then you start talking. Well, you start talking. I start talking, and then next thing you know, and now I'm late. Now I'm late. How's everybody? Yay. Oh my gosh. You know, even though I work from home, right? I still love me some Fridays. I love Fridays. And my kids have half days on Fridays, which I actually love too. Look at me. It makes me sound like a sweet mom. Yeah. No, not always. But I just love Fridays because they get half day, they come home, and then we just hang out. We order pizza, whatever. It's a very relaxed day, so I love it. It is so relaxed, in fact. Oh, yay, Laura! Get to do it live with all of us. Oh, look at all of you. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm going to just give it a couple more minutes for you guys to log on. Yes, so coming to you fresh faced this morning, but I did put on a little lippy. And I'll tell you why I'm fresh faced here in just a second. But you know what my favorite lippy now is? Okay, so I wear Sitting Pretty. Hold on. Okay. I put Sitting Pretty on, which is our new lippy in our, it's right here somewhere. Please hold. I should have a better system. I wasn't planning on showing you. Anyway, Sitting Pretty. And then I put, because it's a little kind of iridescent, right? It's a little iridescent. I love the color, but sometimes I think, Shari, come on. Come on. You're almost 47 years old, really? It's a little bit like kind of sparkly. So I put Upscale on top of it. And Upscale, you know, is the lightest guy. I put a little bit of that. Tone it down a little, but still gives me those sparkles. And then the eyeliner, I use it on my lips. But here's the thing. If you use lip liner on, now Bobby Brown, not the singer. My mother always thinks I'm talking about the singer. No, mother. The makeup artist. Bobby Brown prefers to put her lip liner on top of the lipstick. Like after the lipstick is on, she does the liner, as opposed to lining and then filling in with the lipstick, right? And I find that when I do it both ways, but when I do it, the liner after the lipstick, it gives a softer line. It's probably why she recommends it, because she has a softer soul, you know? She does that really soft, natural, beautiful kind of look. Yes, and you love your Sitting Pretty, Laura. You go, girl, you go. So I don't have makeup on today. Today I just have the skincare and the instant lifting serum. I felt fantastic. But this girl gets a massage today. What? Yes. Yes. I already had it scheduled. Thank God. Because yesterday was a very traumatic day for this girl and for my little one, my 10-year-old daughter. She had to have some moles removed. If any of you ever had moles removed, it is painful. Those shots are painful. I'm still not fully recovered. I am going to require some deep meditation, a massage, and possibly a priest, because she was screaming at the top of her lungs. The nurse and I had to hold her down on the table. She's like 5'1", hold her down. She weighs like 30 pounds, but hold her down on that table because oh, who wants my skin? Rebecca? You keep using your unique royalty skin line, honey. You're going to have this skin. You're going to have it better because I can see you're all young and cute. Had to hold her down. She's screaming at the top of her lungs. She's not on, obviously, my child will not be on social media till she's like way old, but she would kill me if she was screaming at the top of her lungs. Like, just ridiculous. After the first one, I'm all, okay, you know what? You are allowed to cry, but you are not allowed to lose your mind. You have got to keep it together. I'm sorry, Mom. It was very traumatic. It was traumatic. So we went to lunch. I myself was nauseous all day. I couldn't even eat. So anyways, yes, it was a traumatic day. She bounced back. I think I have PTSD, but now I have to take her back every year for the same thing. So stay tuned. I should just do a Facebook Live while we're in there. You guys can keep me company. Be a witness to the crazy. So listen, Tess Benson, that is a disgusting story, honey. I'm not even going to say that out loud. Yeah. Yes, it's hard to be the tough one. You have to be the tough one because I can't let her just like go into hysterics, for heaven's sakes. We must teach them coping skills. Coping skills are very important. Okay, so let's get rolling. So happy Friday. I've been thinking a lot about this Facebook Live. And I'm excited to talk about this because I'm letting a little bit of the cat out of the bag. Not that we were trying to keep a cat in a bag. One can't really ever keep a cat in a bag. It's not very, they scratch, and I digress. So here's the thing. I am very close friends with lots of other unique Wall of Influence recipients. And, kind of like kind of like my pacing partners, they're just ladies that I respect and admire, and I bounce ideas off of them, and we bounce ideas off of each other. And, the thing is, we always are talking about how we're trying to think of trainings. We have people that come to us all the time. They're like, Shari, what? I really want to get to the top. What do I got to do? Give me tasks. And, I'm always trying to like be creative and think of things that they can do. But really what it boils down to, and we all agree, what it boils down to is so simple that it's almost embarrassingly simple. It's almost like, sometimes, and I know a lot of you leaders out there too, you feel like you have to come up with some super creative, and you do too. You come up with some amazing trainings, but you feel like, you have to like, just create these amazing tasks that are just going to launch everybody to the top. When in reality, all of the tasks that get you to pink status, and I know we have some people on here that are with different companies, so I will just say pink status is our third level. It's the first level where you have team members underneath you. And the same exact skills that got me to pink got me to black. I just did them consistently. I did more of them. If you think about it, that's really all there is. You can chart, you can map out something, you can, whatever it is that, some people just are drawn to the numbers and they love to look at the numbers. Whatever it takes to motivate you, that is perfectly fine. But what I'm saying is the actual tasks that are going to get you to every single level that you want to achieve are the same. They are the same. What did I do? To get to pink, I wasn't even thinking about getting to pink, okay? All I knew was I had to share this business and these products with as many people as possible because I love them so much. That's all I focused on. How do I reach more people? Say it with me. Say it with me. Don't say a bad word. Say it. Online parties. Online parties. That's how you do it. Online parties. Shari, I can't get online parties. Person, it's because you're not trying hard enough. But I am. I talk to everybody I know. You need to find more people. You need to expand your circles. You need to know more people. You need to have more friends. You need to have more friends. You don't have enough friends, okay? You don't have enough friends. None of us do. Everybody needs more friends. We all need more friends. And the way you start, the way I started, and this is what I recommend for everybody. When I launch somebody, I tell them, you focus on your launch party for the first 10 days. And that's it. You don't do any other parties, only your launch party, because you are shouting to the world that you are starting a new business. Now imagine if you were opening a restaurant. I always relate it to other businesses. If you were opening a restaurant, would you just sit in your little house? Would you just text like 3 or 4 of your little friends? Would you just like post on Facebook, hey, I'm opening a restaurant, and leave it at that? And no, you wouldn't. Or you're done. You're out of business, right? You would be on a campaign. You would be excited. Even if you weren't excited, you would pretend to be excited until you felt excited, right? Dr. Phil talks about that too. You have to conjure up the enthusiasm, and then the feeling will follow. Don't expect to have the feeling and then go for it. Conjure it up, the feeling will follow, okay? You do that for 10 days, and then you reach out to, I chose 5 of my closest friends. And I say closest friends because these are the girls that you can go right up to and you can grab them by the collar and you say, listen to me. You are hosting, this is what I did. They will tell you this. You are hosting an online party. And they're like, oh. And I said, yeah, roll your eyes. It's okay. You can roll your eyes. I don't need you to make a purchase. I don't need your money. You cannot build, when you tell me that you don't have a lot of friends and your family won't buy from you, well, guess what? You cannot build a global business on the back of your friends and your family. You can't do that anyway. So even if you're an orphan living out in a field, no friends, no family, it's okay. You have to have 5 people that you know. Start with 3. Okay, but 5 is better. 5 is more, so 5 is better. 10 is more, so 10 is better. I grab them by the collar and say, you're hosting an online party. I owe you one because you know there's going to be something you're going to want me to do down the road that you know I'm not going to want to do, and I will do it. And we laugh, and they host the party for me because I need their contacts. Because I know that there is somebody in their friends list who loves makeup, who is struggling financially and can use some extra income and doesn't have the time to get a second job. This is such a gift to so many people. So many people. Do you know how many men I talk to about the business that are like, oh, I wish I could do this. And they can do this, but it is a little bit of a challenge for a man if they don't wear makeup, right? It's a little bit more difficult to discuss sitting pretty. Now, if you're a man that wears makeup, God bless. That eliminates that problem, right? But what I'm saying is this is such an opportunity that I tell my girlfriend Tammy, who's my sponsor, I would, you know what? If she hadn't told me about this, I'd punch her in the throat. Yeah. And you know what else? Here's the thing. Whether they join or not, it's not your responsibility. Drop the mic. It's not your responsibility. That, I think, is what holds a lot of people back. Because they're like, what if I tell all these people and they say no? That's not your responsibility. That which is for you will not pass you. Let that mantra go through your head. I say that to myself all the time. That which is for me will not pass me. No, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. My job is to be the information booth. My job is to spread the word My job is to let people know what I have and what is out there. How many of you walk into a Sephora and you could spend hours there and you could spend a fortune there, right? How fun is that to just play? That's what we do, but we do it online. Even better, because you get that experience while being in your jammies. And Facebook Live is the feature that has changed it all. Facebook Live has upped the game, because now I can put my girlfriend and her girlfriends in a group on Facebook, and I can pop in live and I can say, hey, look at this. Isn't this pretty? This is Sitting Pretty lipstick, which is in our new Kudos. And then on top, I put upscale lipstick because I like to tone it down just a little bit. And then the eyeliner that comes in our Kudos this month, I used a little bit. Now, who would ever think to use this color as lip liner? I know all you out there, all you young chippies out there. Me. But I'm just saying. I'm on a little bit of an older soul. Isn't that nice? Now, you know it's a good color if you can wear this lippy and you don't have any other makeup on, right? Yeah. You can get in there on Facebook Live and just say, hey, everybody, grab a drink, plop on the couch, ask me questions. What do you want to know? What products? Tell them in advance. Make a list of products that you want me to show you, and I'll talk about them. And they can go to the website and they can check it out. And then they can, let you know. Well, I'm wondering about the Touch Liquid Foundation. Oh, let me show you. I'm going to do half my face, right? But get creative. So you start with these 5 online parties. I'm just saying 5 of, your closest friends. There are no rules on how to do an online party. There are no rules. Back in the day, 3 years ago, there's a lady for the appointment that I'm going to right now. I'm going to hide right now because they think I'm crazy. They always see me out here talking on my phone. We did parties 3 years ago very differently than they're done today. In a year, we're going to be doing parties completely different than they're done today. Parties need to change, because if you find yourself getting bored with parties, then that's a sign it's time to switch it up. If you're bored, your customers are bored. Doesn't mean you stop doing parties. Why would you? Why would you stop doing parties? It is the best way to reach the most people across the globe. Now that brings me to something else. A lot of you are fantastic with live events. And it's so funny to me, because when I first started, a lot of women were signing up for this business because they didn't want to do home parties. And there's a lot of you that love to do home parties, but you're scared of online, which seems, I don't want to call you crazy, but I'm just thinking, if you have the confidence to be able to speak in front of people live, then what is it about online that scares you? Because online is safer, right? I mean, you're more protected. If you like to do the in-person ones, then Facebook Live is for you. This is the way that you connect with your customers. Because, the thing is like even at conventions, so there's thousands of women, right? Almost like 8,000 and some women. And so many of them came up to me and said they felt like they already knew me. I had never met them, but they connect to me through this. So imagine how your customers are going to feel, right? So, but here's my thing. If you're doing home parties and you're doing live events, I think that's amazing. And if that's what brings you joy, that's what you should be doing. But you need to tie in an online element. There needs to be some sort of online connection, okay? So if you're doing a party for Sally Sue needs a party link, and you need to connect that online, on Facebook, on Instagram, something. You need to tie that in, because the only way that you are going to build a global business, the only way you're going to build a big business is you have to be online, because you could reach millions of people. And you can't just do that from your hometown. Now, a lot of people say to me, well, Shari, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. And this is all that I'm doing. I don't like doing online stuff. I only like to do live in-person stuff. And my business is really booming. Okay. I have yet to meet, and please, please feel free to prove me wrong. I have yet to meet someone with those skills that has hit higher than orange status. Now, for those of you that aren't within Unique, green is like our director level, and then orange is right above that. And then it goes purple status, black status. I've seen lots of green status, and I've seen lots of orange status that have said that to me. They have amazing monthly personal retail sales. But the thing is, your monthly personal retail sales, that is amazing. You know, you get commission on that and you make money, and that is amazing. If you're looking for more than that, you need to have a big team. Your personal sales, I mean, how long are you going to be able to keep that up? Hopefully for a very long time. But I'm just thinking, you need to think long term. At some point, by the time I hit black status, my personal income, my personal sales, the commission from that was less than 1% of my income. Let that sink in. Less than 1% of my income was from my personal sales. The rest was from the team. Yes, levels and levels down, okay? Now, that brings me to the other point. How does one get one's team to sell and to succeed and prosper? Because that's the whole goal of this business. And for me, that is the silver lining for this business, is that I don't have to focus on myself. I can focus on helping other people, which for me, that's all it is. That's all there is. Like, that's what gives me purpose. I love to help other people. By helping them, I also help myself. Okay? So, the way to get that sort of a success and to pass on that success is the results that you're having with your own business have to be duplicatable. Okay? It can't just be something that you're doing to succeed, but nobody else is going to be able to do it. Okay? So, for example, if you're doing an ad, like an official Google ad or Facebook ad, what is it called? Ad something. Those are the ones that you put a lot of money into it. And you can make a lot of connections, and there is a way to do it legally through Unique. You know, you have to make sure that you follow all of the rules. And there's a lot of ladies that do that. But if you're doing these ads, is that really something that's duplicatable for your team? Because what happens is, I see these women who are putting tons of money into these ads. And yes, they're getting sales from it. But there's a problem because they're still not maintaining their status. Even with these sales, and you know, a lot of you will see on, you know, if you see on leaderboards where you see people with just outrageous personal retail sales every month. I was wondering myself how it's done. Well, a lot of them are doing these ads, and they're legal. They're completely legal. They're following the rules, but they're breaking even. They're spending as much as they're earning. And a lot of them do it for the contacts, and that's great too. But the problem is I start seeing that a lot of them are not able, if you're not able to maintain your status, that's a problem. That means that what you're doing is not working. Something else, there needs to be another element added. I'm not saying you have to stop doing the ads. I'm saying another element needs to be added, and that element is online parties, because those are the easiest things to train on. They're the easiest things to train on. And I know you're saying, oh, but I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you a story. You know our beloved Carol Lewis Newton that we just all love, KLN. You know her. Yes. She is amazing and fantastic. And she is the party queen of our company. She is amazing. I'm going to give you some statistics in case you don't know. Cara Lewis Newton, in just, 2 years, maybe a little over 2 years, Cara Lewis Newton has done 650 parties. 650 parties. My phone just had to reconnect because it couldn't even handle that. 650 parties. Why is she good at online parties? Because she's done 650 parties. Now, out of those 650 parties, 50% didn't qualify. She had 325 parties that didn't qualify. So if you're out there whining because you've done 5 parties that didn't qualify, or 10 parties that didn't qualify, or 30 parties that didn't qualify, I want to tell you to call the Wambulance. 1-800-WAH, because you need to do more. You need to do more. The girl did 325 that didn't qualify. Now, of the 325 that did not qualify, 70% of those had 0 sales. She had over 200 parties with 0 sales. Did she stop? Nope. No. That's why I'm telling you, start with 5 parties. Because of those 5 parties, 3 aren't going to sell squat. One of them isn't going to qualify. It's going to sell less than 200. And one of them is going to qualify. Do we cry? Do we call our mama? Do we cry? Do we threaten to quit? No. No. Because that's not what we're made of. You get your little butt back in there and you find 5 more parties. Big whoop. Big whoop. Who cares? You go in knowing. That's sales, baby. Let me tell you something. That is sales. Do you know how many times, how many thousands of customers I have had come to the cosmetic counter asking me for samples, never wanting to, playing around with stuff, messing up my counter, never an intention to buy. But you know what? I give them just as good a service as I give the lady that walks up and knows exactly what she wants. You give the exact same service. You offer this. Every woman out there wants to know more about makeup, more about techniques. It's fun. It's fun for us. And even women who don't wear a lot of makeup, they're still interested. They're still interested. They still want to know. Everybody loves long lashes. And if you're tuning in late, I'm going to get a massage. Thank you very much. I feel very special today. So I didn't put any of that on. But we have amazing skincare too. So, and lippy. Hi, you don't have to wear makeup to wear lippy. It's beautiful, right? So you have to change your thinking, because really, I mean this sincerely from the bottom of my heart. You are your problem. You are the one holding yourself back. It's your self-limiting beliefs. You are believing what you're telling yourself, and you're telling yourself you can't do online parties because you're scared, or you're lazy, or you're scared. You're probably scared. And you're scared people are going to say no. Let yourself off the hook. When you say to them, girl, oh my gosh, you got to let me do an online party for you. This is so much fun. Put your girlfriends in a group, grab a glass of wine. We're going to pop in there on a Thursday night. I have 2 spots available next week. Only 2 spots. Do I have more spots available? Of course I do. Yes, of course we do. I've got 2 spots available next week. Let's do it. I love to do them on Thursday nights because we're just getting ready for Friday. Nobody has to come to your house. You don't have to clean. You don't have to have snacks. It's so much fun. You know what? You're doing it. And then she goes, well, I don't know. No, I can't do it Thursday, whatever. Okay, well, listen, what day would you like to do it? You're having fun. And if she flat out says no, say, all right, but listen to me. You're missing out. I'll invite you to one of mine. You don't have to host one. I'll invite you to one of mine. And then you do. And then you invite her to one of yours. And then right before you say, listen, throw some of your girlfriends in here. Or, if you throw your girlfriends in here and they buy something, my other hostess is going to get the rewards. Wouldn't you rather get the free makeup? Are you sure you don't want the free makeup? And then she'll be like, oh, Well, crap, if I'm throwing them in there anyway, I want the free makeup. Mm-hmm. Now, do you think that I was just able to talk this way because it's just who I am, and as a baby laying in my crib, I was like, oh, hey, let's do online parties? No. It's because I have worked with thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of customers. I've been selling my whole entire life. Practice. And get tough. Could you do 300? Could you do over 200 parties that had 0 sales? That would be a tough one. That would be a tough one for me. I don't know how many. I haven't kept track. I don't know how many I've done. But all I know is I've gotten some of my black status presenters from online parties that didn't sell a dime because they saw what I was doing and they were looking for an opportunity, and they had a business mindset and they thought, oh, I could do this. And they signed up and they hit black status. How'd they hit black status, Shari? Online parties. Whatever I did, going back to what the whole title of this show is, I started this business. I did my launch party first for 10 days. I focused only on that, letting everybody in the world know. So if your business has slowed down, relaunch yourself. Now, that launch party where you're the hostess, that is the only time you host an online party for yourself. That's the only time. Now, you should always have a link open for yourself for purchases that you need to make, to capture random orders that come through that are not through another party. Always keep a link open for yourself. But the other thing that I've been seeing, and it's very shocking to me, and KLN and I have discussed this before, how shocked we were at how many people say they can't do online parties and their online parties aren't successful. Come to find out, they're always hosting their own parties. No. The point is to get more contacts. The point is to meet more people, because there have also been times where I have a hostess, she has a party, someone from there will host a party, and someone from there will sign up. You just never know how it's going to go, and you just have to keep doing it. But it is something that is completely relatable, that everyone can do. You can train someone over the internet on how to do an online party. The majority of your time is going to be spent explaining to them that it's not personal when people don't buy, explaining to them that they have to learn to have enthusiasm even if they don't feel it in the moment. I think a lot about when I was working part-time in college, and I would go to work at the department store, right at the counter, and I would walk in being exhausted, in a bad mood, just not wanting to be there. But you know what? I had to put a smile on. And you know something? When I put a smile on, I would get to the end of my shift and realize, you know what? I am in a fine mood. It would probably only take me 10 or 15 minutes of smiling and saying hello to people until I started feeling better. That's what you need to do. And I see Eric Worre talk a lot about personal development within this business, and how there was a quote I saw, I think yesterday, about how the biggest benefit of network marketing is the person that you become because of it, because of the personal development that you do, because of growing as a person. That's really what the core is here. It's finding out, what are you afraid of? Why are you afraid of it? And how to break it down into bite-sized pieces so that you can accomplish the task and work through your fear. Because the more you work through your fear, the more you do things that you're afraid to do, the less afraid you are, and the more free you are. The more free that you are. I used to be petrified of public speaking. Turns out, it's kind of what floats my boat. It's kind of what lights my fire. But you know why it lights my fire? Because when I'm speaking, I'm not thinking about, oh, I don't have makeup on, or, oh, do I look weird? Or, oh, is my hair weird? No, my focus is, am I providing value to you? Am I saying something that can help you? Am I being clear in my message to you? I focus on you. So I want you to not focus on yourself when you're out there working your business and when you're out there asking for online parties. I want you to work on and think about providing value to your customer. And I don't want you to worry about the one sale. Don't worry about the one sale. Whether she buys today or not, it does not affect you as a valuable human being, okay? You need to not have customers. You need clients. You need to make friends. You need to, for these people to know that they may not need anything today, but when they do, all they have to do is call you. Don't become desperate. You need to cultivate a culture of friendship. Think about what Carol Lewis Newton, I love her. Think about what she does. Can't you just tell, like, I sell this stuff and I want to be her customer, right? Don't you too? Seriously, I want to be her customer because I know that she cares. I know that she knows what she's talking about, and maybe she doesn't. Maybe she's just smiling. The most important thing is that you just have to know where to get the answer. There were times when I worked behind the counter that I knew the answer, but I had a customer who was very defensive, and I could tell that she felt sold to. And so to disarm her, I would say, if she asked me a question about a product, I knew, but I would say, oh, hold on just a second. And I'd go over to the other part of the counter to my friend, and I'd say, hi, yeah, okay, so just pretend like you're telling me something right now. Okay. Oh, all right, okay. And I'd go back and go, oh, yes, so you put this on in the morning, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, totally different energy. She's relaxed. I don't have to be the expert. When you first start with something, you feel insecure and you feel like you need to know everything and you need to be the expert. The more you know, the more you're going to realize, I don't need to know to be the expert. I don't need to have all the answers. Plus, you're online, so you have like a hot second to think. Go to the website. There's the ingredients. There's what it does. If a customer asks you a question that's like way off into left field, like, you can say, wow, good question. Never been asked that before. I don't know, actually. I just don't know. She can contact support. That's the beautiful thing. We have an entire support team that handles that for us. Isn't that wonderful? Yes. So, if you want to promote, I am here to tell you, online parties are the fastest and the best way to get there. And if you don't feel like you're good at it, then you need to practice. You don't need to study. You don't need to become a professional student of the business. You need to actually do the things. Do them over and over. And the thing is, you could have the most perfect script. See, I don't like scripts per se, because I want it to come from you. I don't like to hear, Shari, I don't know what to say. Do you not know how to talk to people? Because I think you do. You just need to develop the confidence. And it needs to sound like you. It doesn't need to sound like me. It needs to sound like you. You need to be genuine and honest. And if you don't know how to speak to people, you need to learn how to speak to people. Just in general and in your life, you need to learn how to speak to people. So keep it simple, because I know that a lot of times, you think, oh, there's just all of these big mysterious things that are going to get me to the next level, and I just don't know what they are, and I don't know where to start, and then you start feeling overwhelmed, and then you freeze. Or is that just me? Because I do that. If it's too much, I freeze. So if you just focus, if your only focus was to keep 5 online parties going at all times, and I don't care if it's a 10-day party or a 5-day party or a 3-day party or a hot frickin' 30-second party, do a 30-minute party, do a live party, mix it up. Do what you love. Do the one that excites you the most. Now, sometimes excitement and nerves go hand in hand. I like to tell myself I'm excited instead of I'm nervous. So, because for me, that just changes the whole energy of it. But sit down. You know, when was the last time that you actually sat down quietly with a piece of paper and brainstormed ideas and thought on paper and wrote down all the different ideas that you have for online parties? And if you're scared, write a column of every single thing. Dump it on paper. Every single thing that you are afraid of for an online party. List it. And then next to it, I want you, in your best Shari Brown voice, to say, what would Shari tell me to do about this? I'm scared. Do it anyway. I'm not good at it. I need practice. That's it. You just need practice. And you need to remember that Her Mighty Highness, Cara Lewis Newton, had over 200 parties that had 0 sales. So until you get to 200 parties with 0 sales, I don't want to hear it. Do you know what would happen, though, if that was your goal, to have 200 parties with 0 sales? Do you know what would happen? You'd hit black status. You would hit black status. You would. How could you not? How could you not? Because some of those parties would sell. Probably, I would say 10% of all the parties that I've done have, maybe even less than 10%, but let's just say 10%. That's not a big number. 10% of my parties have been amazing, and those are what built my business. But you have to do a lot of parties to be able to get those few that are really going to launch your business. And you know, we have our half price items, right, that we get as presenters. We have 1 million half price items. I like to use those as a lovely incentive for one of my hostesses. That is a lovely incentive. If you are in an online party and that online party is wrapping up, you throw it out there and say, the first 5 people to message me to host an online party will get a free half price item. Bazinga! Yeah, yeah. Oh no! Hashtag WWSD. Is it wrong that I secretly love that? Thank you. Thank you. Well, listen, I thank you all so much for tuning in. I think you get my point. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Do online parties. And if you're a leader, I don't want you to think that you have to be the expert in online parties to tell your team to do them. This is what you say. Hi, team. I am your leader. I, too, feel like I suck at online parties, but I'm going to do them anyway, and I'm going to practice. Do it with me. Let's do it together. Let's do it scared. And you do it as a team. Hi. Hello. Hello, team activity. Hello, team bonding. What's better than that? You don't have to be the expert. You just have to be willing to practice. And you have to be open and honest with your team. And everybody get in there every day and say, oh my gosh, I'm so scared, but I'm going to go ask this lady. And everyone else can comment, do it, go, go, go. And you root each other on. And then you come back and you say, oh gosh, what happened? Well, this is what she said. Oh, wow. Okay, what'd you say? Back and forth, back and forth. Everybody can learn from everybody else. But you have to actually do the activities. You can't spend all day in your team pages, okay? You can't spend all day writing out scripts and all of that stuff. All of that stuff may be important, and all of your listing is important, but it doesn't take the place of the actual activities. Okay, one quick story. I remember planning out a meeting with one of my leaders, and we were at a coffee shop, and we were there for like 2.5 hours working on PowerPoints and all these different things, right? And I was having all this anxiety, and I go, okay, I got to wrap it up. I got to go. She goes, why? I go, because I got to get to work. And she goes, what do you think we've been doing? I said, yeah, this isn't work. This doesn't count as work because this is a non-income producing activity. This is not something, and I don't mean that everything I have to do has to produce money. I don't mean that. I just mean that this is not bringing me sales. This is not building my business. It's important, but I now have to stop and go do the things that are going to build my business. Okay? So, I hope you understand. Break it down. Very small steps. Online parties. Whatever you do to get to pink status. And that's a big focus. It's a big fun focus we're all doing this month, focusing on getting to pink. And do those online parties to get to pink, and then keep doing those online parties until you get to blue. You keep doing those online parties to get to green status and orange status, and you keep doing them. I would say you keep doing online parties for as long as you want to grow, until your business gets to the point where you don't want to grow anymore, which I don't understand that, but that's okay. I've heard rumors that there are people like that out there. I don't know. It's not this girl. Until you get to the point where you don't feel like you need to grow anymore. That is the secret. That's the secret, guys. Keep it simple, okay? I love you all. Thank you so much. I am going to go get a massage. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm going to go get a massage, and then I will be back, and I will scroll through and read the comments. Thank you for joining me. My goodness, we have like 600... we got up to like 640 people in here, so I think that's a record for me. And thank you all so much, and I hope you got some value out of this. And go have a wonderful day and have a fabulous weekend. Okay, love you. Bye.